and today guys I will be doing another story time, and today's video is gonna be, what should I call this video? I don't know what I'm gonna name this video. If you guys start seeing this video, it's because it has a title, Where Do I Start? So I'm gonna give this girl the letter B. This story took place in high school. We were moving to North Carolina. We're originally from Georgia. When we were moving, my mom told us that we would have to get a new school and we would be riding the bus. She had just got this new job. That's the reason why we were moving. When we get to the school, we originally thought that we would be going to the school to just fill out some paperwork and we would be starting like the next day. No. So we were going to the school, do the paperwork, yes, but we were gonna start classes today. And I found that a little weird. I was like, what? Nobody told me that we would be starting classes, because what I had on my head was a fake bun that I made from old hair, and I had like a little do-rag on. And so I was like, I do not look right for school today. Like, no, and my head is not right, you know. I haven't got myself together, you feel me? So yeah. The counselor walked us to my sister's period. And then she was like, okay, so now we're gonna walk into your period. She was like, remember this route. And I was like, girl, I'm not gonna remember this route, you know? And so she was like, it's okay, I'm just gonna tell you that this building, this is B building, this is, you know, it was all these different buildings. Before she walked me to my building, she told me that I had to take my do-rag off. And I was like, no, I can't take my do-rag off. I haven't done my hair today. And she was like, well, it's not permitted in our school, like you have to take it off. And I'm like, girl, what? So I ended up taking it off, and I was so embarrassed. I was so upset. And I had math first, and we went to C building, and the math period was like all the way, like it's like this long hallway, and my class was like all the way down here, and the entrance to the long behind hallway is like all the way over there. So we had to walk, and I'm like walking or whatever, and I'm getting tired as I'm walking all the way across, and I'm like and so we get to the class, she knocks on the door, and I'm thinking like it's gonna be like maybe like 15 or 10 kids in the room. Girl, this room is packed. They got people all the way over there by the wall. There's like this big window. They got people standing up for their desks. And I'm like, what the heck? And they even have like, they even have this long table full of kids here too. And so I'm like, what the heck? And so she's like, we got a new student or whatever. And the whole class turns and looks at me, and I'm like, okay. And then he sits me in the very front. This is the most annoying thing that he could ever do. I mean, like, I hear snickering, I hear laughing or whatever, and I'm assuming it's because of my hair. Because like I told you guys, my hair was not done. It was in this ugly bun. Okay, if I could find a picture from this day, I would definitely post it. I think I do have a picture from this day. I'll insert it right here. My hair looked horrible. I looked horrific. Like, it was not good. He's like, okay, they were already learning something, and he's like, okay, we're gonna do this and this and that. And so then I don't know, I think they started taking a quiz or something, and like I couldn't take it, you know, I haven't been here, so sucks. And so I'm sitting down, you know, I'm on my phone or whatever, and then he comes to my desk. He's like, so what math were you in before you came here? And I was like, I didn't, because in like North Carolina, they have like math 1, math 2, math 3. And in Georgia, it was like
Algebra 1, pre-calculus, Algebra 2, mathematics of finance. We also have geometry, coordinate algebra, geometry A, foundations of algebra, history of math, calculus, calculus 1, calculus 2, engineering.
And then he was like, what was the last thing that y'all were learning? And then I couldn't remember then. I didn't remember then. I was like, oh, I don't know, but I was really good in it. That's what I said. And then he was like, okay, well, welcome to math 2. Yeah, math 2. Yeah, he was like, welcome to math 2. And I was like, okay, thanks, or whatever. And then when I started to like get comfortable, which was like a few minutes like later after the lady had left, because her and the math teacher were talking. After she had left, the bell had rung, and so I had to go to my next period. And I have this little sheet. she didn't walk me to my class or anything. But no, yes she did. And my next period was dance because I wanted to take dance. And so I'm like so pumped. I'm so excited for this class because I love dance. I love to dance. I live dance. I eat, breathe, sleep dance. You know what I mean? So I love to dance, and I wanted to take this class. And in Georgia, it was dance. Like, I didn't know that there was like all these branches to dance. I didn't take dance seriously until like I actually like started at Eastern. And so in Georgia, dancing was hip hop, bucking, all of that, and it was stand dancing, like the college level dance or whatever. It wasn't like, I didn't learn like jazz, contemporary jazz, lyrical, ballet. I didn't learn none of that. And so I was really surprised when I walked into this class. They had ballet bars, and it was stuff written on the wall about these different techniques of dance and stuff like that. And then I met the dance teacher, and I was like, okay, whatever. And then she was like, this is your lunch period, so you can go to lunch or whatever. And I'm like nervous as crap because I don't want to be one of those girls who just stays in the classroom. I mean, I wouldn't mind that. Like, now I wouldn't mind just sitting in the classroom because it's literally like, who cares? Like, and I'm waiting for the second bell to ring for everyone to go to lunch. I was where the stereo was. I was over there in the little corner because I didn't know anyone. Like, everyone was bonding and talking to their friends or whatever. Like, dance is kind of like a free period for like everybody. So they were sitting over there talking or whatever, and then these two girls walk in. They walk up to me, and then they just look kind of confused or whatever. They were like, are you new? And I was like, yeah. And so she was like, oh, okay, that's cool or whatever. And then like they just start asking me questions or whatever, like, you know, like trying to get a feel for like who I am. And so then T, she's like, do you want to have lunch with us or whatever? And then I was like, yeah. I was like, yes. Taisha, like, I always tell her, like, when I first met her, she like looked so stuck up, like she didn't like want T to talk to me or whatever. She was just looking away. I think she was just chilling, but I just like back then, like, I was like super sensitive, so I wanted like everyone to like me. And so I got the feel from her that she really didn't like F with me like that, you know what I mean? And so the second bell rings, and then I just walk with them, walking to the lunchroom, and then we sit down, we have lunch, and I meet all of their friends at the lunch table. And we get back to the lunch is over. I walk with them back to the room. They're learning a piece, and they have this this student teacher. So she was teaching them a combo, dance Skelly Woo, and I think I'll enter the video of what Skelly Woo looks like. And so they were learning that piece, and immediately I got really excited because it's kind of like upbeat, and like the dance they were doing before, it was kind of like really slow and stuff. And I was like, this is not what I had in mind. Like, this is not what I had in mind. Like, I want to drop this class. Like, I want to go take like maybe psychology or something, you know? The teacher, she comes over to me, and she gives me this packet that I'm supposed to fill out to take home with my parents because the student teacher is she's supposed to record us. So she was giving me these papers to give consent for her to record me. And so she was like, if you get that sound, you can start tomorrow with like learning like the dances and stuff. This class is over, and so I'm just gonna skip over to like the end of the day. And so I meet my sister or whatever. We ride home on the bus, and like she's just telling me like she felt the same way that I did. Like, I did not have a good first day. Like, it was so like I was unprepared for it. It just was a hit in the face. And I just if I would say this, if I would have never started like that day, I would have felt a little bit more better about like, you know, going to school here, you know. And I'm gonna skip like weeks over. I'm gonna skip to when we were in dance class. She comes up to me, she's like, oh my gosh, like, you're so good or whatever, like, where are you? Like, they start asking me like, where am I from or whatever, and I'm like, oh, I'm from Georgia. And she was like, Georgia? And then she was like, oh yeah, I can hear your accent, like, you sound country. And I guess now you can't really hear my accent. And so I'm gonna move forward to my 11th grade year with B. No, I'm gonna say B was the one who was saying that, oh my gosh, like, where are you from? You're so good or whatever. That was her. So now I forgot to say that, but I kept saying this girl. But no, it was B. So 12th grade year. So me and B became like the best as a friend. Like we became best friends. During like my 11th grade year, I started going through like a lot of stuff, like with like me and like my family. I started going through, it was like the worst year ever for me. B was there for me when I was going through all of this stuff. Me, B, Kaisha, and my sister, we became this friend group. This time my sister, she was going through a lot of stuff too. And like the friend group, they didn't like know like what my sister was going through, because my sister is a very private person and she don't like her business told to other people because she doesn't trust them. And she would distance herself from the group. And like the others, like they felt like, oh my gosh, like what's going on? Like, does she not like us anymore? Like, what's up, you know? And so then I would go back and tell her that, because that's my sister. Like, who wouldn't? I'm gonna get into the beef with B. I just want to give you guys a little backstory. Like when I tell stories, I like to get, I like to tell you guys the backstory of like what happened. So it was spending the night at her best friend's house. So had told us the story about her and I guess her other friends of like what had happened, like how they made her feel. B was kind of like telling her that she shouldn't feel the way that she don't like nobody telling her how she should feel, because those are her feelings, you know. B was kind of like twisting the situation around, like making her feel bad for feeling the way how she should feel. B had went and told me like what had happened between them. She was like, your sister just hung up the phone with me because I told her that she's a coward for feeling how she should feel. My sister was like, what? And then like she just hung up the phone. And then like B just went back and told me like what had happened or whatever. I was like, why would you say that or whatever? And then she was like, because like, you know, she was just going like beating around the bush. She wasn't really telling me like why she said it. She was just saying, she was just telling me how she grew up and like that she didn't believe in that or whatever. And I was like, okay, well my sister's not stupid enough to do that, you know what I mean? Because she knows like what will happen, like, you know, like me and her hang up the phone, and then I get on the phone with my sister because, you know, I want to see what's like going on. She starts telling me what happened, and like she just telling me how she feel or whatever, and that she felt betrayed because in her mind she's thinking like I'm venting to my friend, I'm venting to her how I feel, and like how like this friend group has made me feel, and like why, you know. She was just telling her, you know how you get in a fight with your parents and like you tell them like what's going on, and you like venting, and sometimes you might say stuff that you don't mean, but you're venting to your friend, you know. You don't need your friend making you feel better than what you already feel, you know. A good friend knows when they just need to sit there and listen to this person. Kaisha, H, they all hear about the situation because my sister told them, and then the best friend house that she's staying over, she's hearing the situation because, you know, they're right next to each other or whatever. And so then they all gang up on B, and we're like, well, like why, like they're like going in or whatever, but they're not like ganging up on her like as a group, you know. They just like taking like my sister's side, you know what I mean? Like they just having her bad. But B, she comes back and tell me like, oh, your sister's having these people gang up on me. And I tell everybody to chill out. I tell everybody that that's not cool, like you shouldn't do that or whatever. And then my sister's like, why are you taking her side? I was like, I'm not taking her side, but this is like creating drama that doesn't need to be created, you know. I get it, you don't like what she did, you know, y'all don't have to be friends anymore, cool. But B did not want to leave it alone. Like she got mad. We have told each other secrets that we didn't tell like anyone else, you know. Well, for the most part, I know some of us have. And so B starts criticizing Kaisha on like one of her secrets that she told us, you know. And so I was like, whoa, like you're crossing the line, girl. And then as her best friend, I was telling her that she was crossing the line, like that's wrong, you know. Like this friend was supposed to be like a place where we all vent to each other, you know, like not to have our stuff like thrown at our face, you know, like our secrets thrown in our face, like that's wrong, you feel me? And so I called her out on that. I was like, girl, that's not right. And she was like, who are you? Are you my best friend or what? And I was like, girl, I'm your best friend, but like that's wrong. Like I wouldn't be a best friend if I didn't tell you that you were in the wrong, you know what I mean? Basically the ending of that situation is that me and B had made this Zoom call so everybody could join it. And I was like, okay, so you speak your piece, and then it was just we had this whole session. Let's switch over to when we were in 12th grade. So by the time we were in 12th grade, everyone is the bestest of friends. Everyone is cool or whatever. This happened like in the summer. So we had just, me and B and Kaisha just finished. We finished 11th grade. My sister just finished 10th grade, and she was moving into 11th grade. And this is the summer where all that stuff had happened, and now we're moving into our next grade. We're in dance class, and me and my sister, we're getting ready to go to our next period. B, she's like, borrow some perfume, and I was like, sure. And then I get a text, and then I didn't look at it, but my sister looked at it, and she was like, oh my god. And I was like, what happened? And then she shows me the phone, and then I look at it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm in shock mode. Like, what the text was about didn't really hit me until, I don't know, like a few seconds later. And so then I'm in shock. I'm just looking at it like, no, she gotta be playing or something. And so my sister, like, she's just quiet, like, she just shook. And like, I think she goes into like, it's like where this podium is, like the stuff for the stage is like in this little corner, and then it's this chair right here, and you can sit down in it. So she goes to sit down in the chair, and so then she's like over there, and I noticed her start crying, and then I start crying because this is crying, and then like we both are like crying, and so the text message said, your pastor died, and our pastor was kind of like one of the main reasons that like we moved up to North Carolina. Our church was like moving to North Carolina, so we were relocating with our church along with my mom getting her new job. B, she started laughing, and so I'm thinking like maybe she saw something funny or whatever, like not like me and my sister. I know she not laughing at me and my sister's situation, and so she's just sitting there like laughing or whatever, and she's like, what are they doing? And then my sister looks up or whatever, and she just walks out. And like me as the person I am, I don't want to like make situations like uncomfortable or whatever, so I'm like, what are you laughing at? You know, like trying to like wipe my tears and stuff. And so she was like, why are y'all crying and stuff? And I was like, well, our pastor died and stuff. She was like, your pastor? And then I'm like, okay, well, she really is laughing at us. And so then I get pissed off. I get a text from my sister, and she was like, man, strike one, you know? Like, you don't do that. Like, have some respect, you feel me? Like, you don't do that. Me and B, this is like the next semester. So me and B had the same math class. I actually love this class because she really like explained like math, and I was never like good at math until this class. I did very well in this class, you know, I was excelling, I was doing amazing, and B was not doing so great. And so the person that I am, like, I'm gonna help you out because I know how that feels to like, you know, see everybody else doing good in math, and like you asking for help and it's not working, like the teachers are getting frustrated with you. You know, it's just not a good situation. B, she was kind of like me when I was in 5th grade, and like I didn't understand anything, and so it was very hard to like communicate like what was going on, because she had to know like everything, which is like how I was. Like I had to know like literally like what are you doing, like what's going on. And so if you do something and I'm like, hold on, what did you just do? How did you get that number? You know, like I need to know like everything. And so yeah, and I understood that. I was very patient with her. And then at this point I started noticing like our relationship like going like down. Like we wouldn't talk how we used to talk, and every time we would talk it would be about school. COVID had hit, and so like we're social distancing and stuff, but school is still going on. She texted me, can you do this assignment for me? It started being like an ongoing thing, like, can you do this assignment for me? You know, and I'm like, dude, like you have to take the test, you have to take the finals, you know, you have to know this stuff. And so she was like, I know, but I'm busy, like, I'm trying to get this job or whatever. And so I'm like the friend and I'm like, okay, cool, I feel you, like I see you. Like she was using me, but I'm blind to the fact that I didn't even think that about her. So I didn't think nothing of it. So I just did it. When I would send her the assignment, she would call me. She'd be like, thank you, like, you don't understand, like this means so much to me or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, anytime. I hope that you would do the same for me, you know. She stopped like hitting me up. Like we were already like not texting each other back or anything like that. Like we weren't communicating, but we would still communicate like this week and then the week after that, you know, it would be like that. But before it was like every day, like constantly, like, best friend, what's up, you know, like I was talking to her like every day. And then it became that, and then now it's like we barely talk, you know, but she's still claiming me as her best friend. And so then she comes to the group chat and she's like, because mind you, like I think we were all cool. And then she's like, hey guys, I need a break from all of y'all, like I can't do this anymore or whatever. Leave her alone for like a few months. And then I hit her up and I'm like, hey, I hope you good, I'm praying for you or whatever. And so then she was like, thank you. She hit me up, and then like I think we started talking for a little bit. And then I started telling her, she's like, how you been? And I started telling her about my relationship with God and like how I'm so happy or whatever. And then she started telling me about how her relationship with her girlfriend has been. And yeah, and then I was like, but yeah, like I hope you're doing good and take as much time as you need. She's like, thank you, like you're such a good friend and this and that. And then she hasn't hit me up, and mind you, it's months, you know, she hasn't hit me up in months. And so I hit her up because like I miss her and like I want to know how she's doing. And so she doesn't hit me back. I give her like, I think I gave her like a day or like half of the day, and I'm like, usually she would have texted me by now. And so then I go to text her again, and it says you know how, you know, you can tell when somebody has blocked you on iMessage. I'm like, okay, like what did I do? I go to her Instagram and I'm typing on there. She didn't respond. A day or something goes by and she hasn't responded to it. And I'm like, okay, well, obviously I did something wrong, or like maybe she didn't see it, maybe she got a new Instagram or this or that. And then I go to TikTok and I click on her like stuff to see what she's doing, because I knew like she was in the paintings or whatever, and I'm blocked. And so I'm like, okay, well something is wrong, you know. And so I'm trying to like think back like what I could do, because I was nothing but a good friend of this girl. I love this girl, and so I was hurt, and I was like, oh my gosh, did I do something wrong? So I'm like telling her, I did call her. I called her like a lot of times. I texted her and I was like, if you really value this friendship, please respond. And I put space, and then I started with this like long text message. And when I mean text message, I was texting her on Instagram. And so, because I'm blocked on iMessage. And so she responds back and she's like, I'm only responding on behalf of the love that I have for this friendship. And it sounded like somebody helped her write this, and like it sounded way too formal. I was like, literally like, girl, just like have a conversation with me. Like you don't have to, you know, like explain to me what I did. Like I don't know, like I just wanted an explanation because I don't understand why and stuff. And then she was basically like saying in a text message that it's some stuff that you did, like you would just never know. And like, mind you guys, this came out of the blue. Like this came out of the crack of somebody's. We never like talked after this Instagram tag, but I was like, you know what, like I said something like so mean, and like I really thought I ate. And then like I blocked her on like everything else. Like she brought me on iMessage and TikTok. I blocked her on iMessage again. I blocked her on iMessage. Yeah, that was the end of the story. We never talked after that. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you guys comment down below. Tell me your favorite part of this video. Tell me what you would have done in my situation. Tell me if I was wrong. Tell me if she was right. You know, tell me your favorite characters or whatever. Yeah, and drop your Instagram down below and I will follow you. Make sure to check that description box for my other Instagrams, and I am out of here. Bye.